These are my two notebooks, and this is how I'm currently using them. This notebook has kind of been coined for me as the organization and capture notebook, where the other one is where things start to get messy, but we'll come back to that. This notebook I carry around with me everywhere. It's the perfect size for me to fit in my back pocket, and I'm never really without it. And the reason for that is because if I ever have an idea or a thought or something I want to write down, I just write it in here. And now I've only had this one for a little while, but the way that I've used it compared to my other notebooks is a little bit different, so I wanted to break it down. How I use this kind of depends on the day and the way in which I'm trying to use it, and sometimes it comes in seasons. Sometimes I write really neatly and I write about the things that are bothering me. Other times I'm just simply writing down big ideas or making lists. Sometimes I'm writing really weird stuff. And other times I'm working through ideas like, what is the function of motivation? It measures the amount of friction that we're willing to overcome. Probably a theme for another video. Lately, I've been numbering the ideas that I have. And I wanted to show you this because on one side we have the note where I came up with this video, and on the other side we have just the title of an idea with nothing here. And the reason for this is because when I get inspiration, I flip to a blank page and I write down the number and the number of the idea that I have in this notebook, and then I name it. And now, if that's all I have, say I just have a slight idea or a concept I want to work through, I'll leave it here. But if I have more to go on, I'll add point number 1, point number 2, and so on. And the reason I started doing it this way is because now I have a series of ideas that I can flip through and start to think about as I end up being bored, or if I, have some free time, I'm standing in line or waiting for something. And this allows me to go back and kind of reference the things that I've been thinking about and expand on my ideas. Maybe I'm inspired and want to start working through this idea and adding some notes and kind of thinking through things like that. Another thing that I do that's kind of interesting with this notebook, and I've started doing it a couple years ago with a different notebook, is I actually write from both sides. Originally, I started writing in both sides of my notebook because of this one, where in the front, I would keep all the things I needed to work on at work, and in the back, I would have all of my personal stuff. And there's some sensitive information in here, so I'm not going to show that on camera. So you can see, obviously, I write from this side, and then I also started writing from this side too, and writing in some of the things that I'm tracking from this way. I don't want to constantly be having to flip around to find certain things and be like, where's my tracker? Where did I put that? And now it's just, I know where it is, and that's just a nice system. So then, okay, how do I start to incorporate this notebook? Well, you probably noticed that there's some weird symbols that I've used in here. Like, for example, I colored in and crossed off the number symbol for this one, but this one's blank. It means somewhere else I have written my expansion on these ideas. And so if we flip to find number 17 in this book, we will find that, yes, in fact, here's idea number 17, just start tracking, and here's all the ways that I expanded that idea, but have it span between two notebooks. So like I said, this is where I start to get messy with things. Because it's bigger and I have a little bit more real estate to work with, here I'll actually start to work through the idea itself and really refine my thinking about it. And now for this one, I crossed it off because I've already filmed this video. It's already posted, you can watch it. And I found too that this notebook is nice to carry around and be on the go, but when I'm at home and I really want to think through an idea, I'll start to use this notebook to kind of organize my thoughts in a better way than if I had a smaller notebook to write on. And I just found that this is a good size for me. And that's basically my current system. It's probably going to change down the line, and I'm going to adapt it, and as I start to use it more, I'll figure out ways that this isn't really working for me. But for the last little while, this has been working pretty well. And so let me know in the comments, is there anything that you do that is similar or totally different than what I do? I'd love to hear what your notebook practice looks like. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.